Hi everyone, this is a quick tutorial about how to build online instruction with Nearpod. I'm already logged in to our TNL account, but there are other department accounts that you may have access to for your department, or you can sign in and create a free account. You'll just click sign in with Google and use your UCA email address to create your free account. So once I'm here in Nearpod, I want to create. So I'm going to hit the plus button. And you can create a lesson in Google Slides, but I actually think it's easier to create in Nearpod. So I'm going to click Lesson in Nearpod. And then it's going to drop me here. I actually need to create a lesson for a class, so I'm going to title it because that just helps me stay organized. So this is Technology in Education for 1300. And then I can add slides directly in Nearpod and build here. I'll show you how to do that. But you can also upload existing PowerPoints, PDFs, and other documents. So I'm going to upload a PDF of the keynote slides that I use for my class. And that's just going to give me a starting space. So I'm going to upload as individual slides. And it's going to drop the content onto my grid here. You'll see them pop up as individual slides that then I can manipulate. So while I'm waiting for that to happen, the other thing that I can do that makes Nearpod so powerful online is I can click Add Slide. I can add content. Oh, there's all my slides. They all popped up. Okay, so you can see them right there. So if I click Add Slide, I can hit Add Content, and I can put a slide. So I could put a video on that slide. I could put text-based information or images. I could do 3D if I needed 3D. They also have built-in simulations, VR field trips. I can add audio, video, slideshows. So there's lots of things I can input when I put Add Content. I can also click Add Web Content and put a website directly into Nearpod. I've done this before in a course by linking directly to the ADE's website where they list the curriculum frameworks so that students in my classes can access the frameworks right within the Nearpod presentation. The other thing I could add is an activity, and this is my favorite part of Nearpod. So these are interactive elements that students have to complete that make them accountable for the information and help you to use Nearpod as a formative assessment tool. So Time to Climb is kind of similar to Kahoot. It feels like a game, and students have to answer questions both quickly and correctly to earn points. So it feels very like Kahoot if you've ever used Kahoot before. An open-ended question lets you type out a question and students can respond in a short paragraph or a few sentences. Matching pairs is exactly how it sounds. It's just like a matching pairs game you might have played as a kid. Students can match words to definitions or words to pictures, whatever you want to put on the matching pairs. You can input a quiz, which will let you do multiple choice questions. Students can draw their answers. So if you teach a course in the iPad 1-to-1, the Draw It interactivity is really cool. You can ask students to draw a Venn diagram and fill it in, or to draw their thinking about a particular topic, or annotate something. So you can put words on a slide and have them annotate over it. So all of those are options. Collaborate is like a digital discussion board. Students type their answers and they show up on individual sticky notes all on one board. Collaborate allows students to see one another's answers. That is not the case with the other types of activities. Only the teacher can see. You can give a poll, fill in the blank, or a memory test. So these are all the different activities. So here are my slides. If I want to edit a slide, I'm going to double click it. So once I double click, it's going to open the slide. And then down at the bottom, I have some options. So I could change the layout, add a different background. I don't want to change anything about this slide because I like how it looks, but I do want to add audio to the slide. So this is another great thing about Nearpod. You can narrate your presentations, and then when students work through the presentation, they just click the play button in the bottom right corner and listen to you as you narrate through your presentations. So if I hit audio, I can either upload a file or open the audio recorder. I'm going to hit audio recorder. To record, I just click on the microphone to the left. So I'm going to click. And now I'm recording. So you can see it's picking up my voice, and I'm recording over this slide exactly what I'd want to say. When I'm finished, I hit that pause button and it automatically saves my audio. If I'm not happy with how the audio sounds, I can just hit this trash can to delete it and it will go away. And then I can re-record by using the same process. So I could hit the record button and say, today, as you work through the Nearpod, we're going to be learning about social media and digital citizenship for future educators. I could hit the play button and listen back to this if I needed to. The most important piece here is that we hit the save button over here on the other side of the audio. It's going to upload my audio directly to the slide. And sometimes this takes a second. And then it's here. This is exactly how it will look for students as well. So if I hit the preview button, students will have this exact same view when they open the presentation. They'll hit the play button and then the audio will start and they'll be able to hear it as they look at the slide. I always put a slide at the beginning of a presentation that's narrated with big, bold word instructions that tell students to be sure to hit the play button in the bottom left corner of each slide so that they remember to listen to the narration. So once I'm done with editing a particular slide, I'm going to hit save and exit. And it's going to save my slide, and you can see now my audio is embedded directly on the slide. So now that I've done that, I'm going to hit add slide and add an activity so you can see how that looks. All of the activity additions are pretty similar. So I'm going to show you what Collaborate looks like. I can pick the type of pinboard that I want and it will give me a preview. I enter a topic. And then I can enter a description. So maybe it's a question that I want to ask. Do you think it's important? And then students will put their responses on these sticky notes and they'll pop up. Everyone will be able to see their responses. So I'm going to hit save. And you'll notice that the Collaborate board just went to the very end, but I don't necessarily want it at the end. I want it to be in the middle. So what I like about Nearpod is the ability to drag and drop. So I'm going to put this over here right before we talk about social media. So I can drag and drop any slide into any order. When I add new slides, they're automatically going to go to the end. So let's say that I'm totally done building. I've put all my interactive elements into my slides. I've narrated them to the level I want to narrate them. I can preview down at the bottom. And it's going to let me preview this slide that I just created. So the question will be here. Students will share their thoughts and they'll pop up on the screen as sticky notes. They can share their thoughts as words, or they can use the image button and share their thoughts as an image, which I think is really cool. I can use the right and left arrows to click through the slides and make sure all of my information is looking exactly the way that I want it to. So I always like to go through and make sure that I proof that things are looking the way I want. Here's what the audio looks like that we added to this slide. All right, so now I'm going to hit save and exit. And it's going to save my lesson. I can add grades and subjects to this. So I'm going to put higher ed. And we'll just pick professional development. So it's going to make you do that. You have to add those things. So the next step is assigning that. So I'm going to assign a student paced because students are going to complete this lesson asynchronously. So when I click student paced, it's going to give me a code, but what I want to put in my LMS is a link. Now, automatically it's going to set this code to be valid for a month, but you might want to set it till the end of the semester. So you can click on the calendar and go ahead and just set it through May 1. Hit apply. That's going to give students the rest of the semester to complete the Nearpod. Then I'm going to click link, copy the link, and then I can paste this link into my LMS, whether you're using Blackboard or Google Classroom to communicate with students. You can attach it to any assignments. Students will simply click on this link. So I'll put it in up here so you can see what it looks like. When they click on the link, It's going to say, welcome to the session. You'll put in your name and hit join session. And then they're automatically in the presentation. They can work through it at their own pace and answer all of the interactive elements within the slides. When they're finished, they need to hit submit on each of their responses. That's how Nearpod saves their responses. As the teacher, you'll go into reports, and then your reports will be right here. So I'll click on this, click on the session, and I'll be able to see whether or not students participated. It'll show me if they got answers correct or incorrect, but it will also show me overall participation. So if you're just wanting to give students a participation score for completing everything, it gives you that option as well in Nearpod. You'll have to manually record your scores into your LMS, but they will all be saved here in Nearpod for you to easily find. So if you have any questions about Nearpod or you're building something and you get stuck, I'm happy to help. My email is jherring@uca.edu. Just let me know and I will help you make it happen.